Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's live Q&A with me and Katie. Katie, good morning. How are things?
Good morning, Dave. Yeah, pretty good on my end. I've had quite a week so far. I've been off Monday, Tuesday, so it's a Monday for me.
Oh, part-time staff, part-time staff. Yeah, it's actually freezing cold this morning as well. I think winter is finally here in Wales. Yeah,
I know. I've been having my fan heater on in the room actually all morning. So yes, it's definitely dropped, hasn't it?
Right then, a few weeks out from the show as well. So we're getting everything ready. All the workbooks, I think they're all done now. A few little surprises need to be ordered, and then I think we're ready to go for the 28th. So you haven't booked your tickets yet, then do just click down below to grab those tickets. But anyway, I think we should dive into the first question.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. Okay, so let me get my questions up here. Okay, so question number 1 for you this morning. How does lead generation differ for a fitness business compared to other industries? Or does it? Is it the same processes, I guess?
Yeah, it kind of is just the same processes for the simple reason being that when we're running ads for any service-based business, it's all about the hook and the offer to get people to take action. So if you're a gardener and your thing is your hedge or is your grass overgrown and it makes your garden look a mess, you want your garden to look better, have the neighbours actually turn their head when they're walking by and admire your lawn, then this is a service for you. Whereas the plumber could be, are you frustrated that your bath is just not emptying fast enough, and it feels like every time you have a shower you're also bathing your feet and all that type of stuff, then we can unblock your drains. Click the link below. So any service-based opportunity or any service-based advert are kind of the same when it comes to lead gen. It's the reason why they need to click that ad with the hook or offer to grab them as well.
Yeah, so it's the same principles, I guess, isn't it? It's just, again, as we always talk about, changing how you're talking to the customer, and you know what copy, what imagery is getting their attention. That's what's changing. It's not the premise of the lead generation ad, as you say.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Second question of the day then. I think I already know the answer to this one, but it'll be good to get your feedback here. So how important is follow-up when it comes to lead conversion, and do you have any best practices?
I think we answered a similar question to this last week as well. Like, follow-up is like the most important thing. If we're not chasing down the leads, if we're not first of all letting them know that we got their details, like, thanks for submitting your details, we will be in contact shortly, then you're going to just let them wonder, did I even submit that thing okay? Did that go through okay? They're going to be wondering to themselves. But likewise, if you're not when you follow up with them now, they could be at, like, taking their kids swimming, they could be still at work, they could be sat on the bus and they just are not ready to answer. So that's why we need to keep following up. So, like, if you're a non-fitness based business watching this, you obviously need to do the same thing. You just keep chasing those people down. Yeah, I mean, if you go and order food from the chip shop or something, and you there's a big queue there, and there's loads of people ordered as well, and then they shout your number out, and then you don't answer. They don't just put the food in the back and then just wait. They keep shouting it out because they need to get rid of that food as quick as possible. It's going to be the same for you. We need to keep following up with these leads as much as possible to let them know that, yeah, you've got their details and that you're ready to help them.
Yeah, I think it's, if you reply within the first 30 seconds, you get you're 100 times more likely to convert your leads or something wild like that. So making sure you're on top of those leads coming in, and just even if you can set up any automations to handle that, to start that initial contact as soon as possible, or conversation as soon as possible, then you're more likely to be converting more of those leads.
Nice, 100%.
Okay. Quite a broad one here for you, I think. But if you could summarize it, then the question is, what are your top 3 tips for creating an effective ad campaign?
The first one is going to be understanding what the purpose of the actual campaign is for. If you're actually wanting to generate leads, then we have to select the right campaign if we're in Meta. Same as if we're creating flyers, same if we're building a website. Like if you're building a website and your whole purpose is to generate leads from your website, then we need to build a website that is designed to generate leads. So you have to know the reason you want to create that advert. It's the same like if you're going to kit out your gym and you just buy, you know what, I'll buy a load of slam balls, a load of kettlebells, a couple of dumbbells, a couple of bars, a couple of bumper plates, a couple of rigs, and I'll just put something together. Then you're going to just have a load of random bits. Whereas if you know what, I want more of a HIIT studio. I want more of a circuit studio. I want more of a powerlifting studio. I want more of a high rocks CrossFit style studio. Then you know what type of equipment that you need to buy. You're not just buying random stuff and wasting your money. So when it comes to campaigns, the first one is definitely going to be understanding what campaign you're actually going to do. If it's just an awareness campaign, then when you build the campaign, it's going to be completely different. So the campaign is going to be the first thing. The second one then has to be probably the offer itself. Is that offer actually attractive and interesting to your prospects? Like, there's no point us running a beach body program for 20 to 25-year-olds and advertising it to 60 plus men. It just doesn't match the audience. It doesn't make sense to that person. It's like there's no point me being shown like Zimmer frames or those type of things that a much older person would need, because I'm still young, early 30s. I don't need that. So I would just probably just scroll straight past that option because it's not of interest to me. So make sure the offer, the hook, the ad that you're putting together then does match your audience. And then the last one is just going to be the actual ad itself. Like the ad itself has to be interesting, has to be scroll stopping, it has to be feet stopping, whether it's on a big billboard, on a bus stop or a flyer or a poster. It's got to stop people in their tracks to make them have a look. So again, think of the colors, think of the creative, think of the copy, everything that goes into the advert to make people then want to stop, read, and then hopefully submit their details in some shape or form.
Yeah, I think as we always talk about each and every week, it's really about understanding and putting that time into understanding who your customer is, where are their pain points, what's gonna, like you say, stop them scrolling. Once you understand all of that, you can really put together a cohesive and a strong ad campaign that is actually gonna convert. It's gonna get their attention, it's gonna speak to their needs, and you're going to see a lot of positive results from it. So don't be afraid to spend time on really thinking about that, because it's going to pay off in the long run for sure.
Yeah, it's just like if you decide, yeah, you know what, I want to do a load of flyers around the area, and you just jump on Canva and you just choose a template and you just fill in a few bits, and then you print them off and go and take them out, and then you've not put a specific QR code or a specific link that lets you know that they came from the flyer. You didn't really match the flyer up with your own branding on your website and your social media. The copy doesn't really sound like what it is you have to offer and all that. Like if this flyer you created is just a willy-nilly one, just a real general basic one that doesn't really represent you or your business, then you have just wasted £150 plus the time it's taken someone to go and deliver them out.
Yeah.
So and I think that comes back to social medias again. So like posts on social media is super important, but sometimes the quality is better than the quantity. There's no point posting a load of just generic, not really that interesting stuff on social media if it's not going to really do any damage. It needs to
Yeah,
be really doing the work that you need it to do.
yeah, absolutely. The next one here is quite interesting, I think, and quite relevant. So this person said, I'm a CrossFit gym. How would you suggest to keep up with competitions such as, obviously the hype around High Rocks? Have you got any suggestions, strategies, things you can keep on top of it and competitive?
Yeah, it's a weird one that because what we're seeing now at the minute is loads of CrossFit gyms are actually now putting high rock sessions on. They're
Mm.
kind of
Yeah, my gym has.
shifting around. Yeah, they've shifted around the timetable a little bit because um, of the high rocks element to it. Although from the competitions that we're seeing, there's a lot more injuries as well because High Rocks doesn't really seem to have like qualification stages or minimum requirements where most CrossFits did. So like there's a lots of injuries happening in these competitions as well. Um, do you bend to society and what the latest craze is? Maybe. I think it's going to really come down to your ethos again. If you are a S&C style of studio and that is your ethos, that is your belief, that is how you think it's best to train people, then maybe it's not really worth making a massive song and dance about signing up to High Rocks, changing the equipment to be able to facilitate that type of training, rejigging the timetable. But then at the same time, if there's a huge demand for it as well, then do it. But at the same time, what we need to remember is High Rocks is for a specific type of person. So if you're
Mm,
generally working with a weight loss category and that is kind of where you specialize in, then again, High Rocks might not fit into your equation. But on the CrossFit front, from my experience and your experience as well, going to our own
mm,
gyms, um, they are putting CrossFit High Rock sessions on just because there is that bit of a craze about it right now.
mm. Yeah, there definitely is, and I've seen a lot more, like we say, a lot more high rock style workouts at my CrossFit gym. Um, I wonder if there's scope to kind of focus on the differences though between high rocks and CrossFit. There's a reason why I'm part of a CrossFit gym, not a high rocks gym, because I like the strength side, I like the gymnastic side, and I know there's a lot of overlap in a lot of ways, but maybe focusing on those things that people are forgetting that CrossFit provides and that maybe High Rocks doesn't is a way to go about it as well. Um, yeah, it's a difficult one. It's finding ways to keep current, isn't it? It's whether you, like you say, kind of take on aspects of that trend and trial it within your gym, or whether you stand strong and you stay, with your niche. It's a difficult one to decide.
Yeah, it really is because, like, obviously, we've both done one or two high rocks in our respective gyms, and I'm not the biggest fan of doing those sessions
Mm,
because they are slightly repetitive and they're slightly just like non-stop doing press ups and burpees and
yeah.
it's not why I went to a CrossFit gym. That wasn't the reason I went there. So again, just be careful if you think, you know what, let's really change the timetable up and chuck a load of high rocks in because
Mm,
the reason most people come to your studio or gym or your CrossFit in
yeah.
particular is because that's the type of training that they enjoy. So like you just said then,
Mm,
might be worth testing a few sessions, maybe put a 6 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursday just to see what it's like, if there's a take up for it, if there's interest. And then if there's interest, then maybe add a couple more. But again, you need to
yeah.
kind of stick to your goals at the same time as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting actually, and a point here is also to really listen to your customer and get feedback, because my gym actually used to do a lot more conditioning classes, and I always found that when I was trying to book what I wanted to be a CrossFit session, the only session they had was a conditioning, but they ran a poll in our group, And obviously the feedback was that people wanted more of those CrossFit sessions again and less of the condition. So that's actually what they've done, and people are obviously more satisfied. So definitely worth trying some stuff like that. Even before you do it, ask your members, would anyone be interested in this? Because the likelihood is some of them may not have ever done a workout like that. I hadn't. So they may be keen to try it, but more as like a social fun kind of thing rather than a weekly or daily session that's catered to that. So again, same as with marketing and lead generation and ads, trial and error, listening to customer feedback, listening to what your clients are saying, and if they're happy and they like it, carry on, and if they're not liking it, then maybe try something new. So
Yeah. It is a tough one, especially like you don't want to fork out all the equipment. I think I was talking to somebody the other day, and he bought a load of extra slam balls, and they've now been gathering dust for the last 6 or 7 months since buying them because they're just not really used. So it needs to make financial sense. It needs to go into your marketing plan. It needs to cover all the boxes or tick all the boxes to make sure it's actually what your gym studio CrossFit box actually needs, rather than just changing the whole system and then thinking, oh no, I've made a mistake. No.
Lovely. Okay. Next question I have here is in relation to Black Friday. Obviously, we all know that is coming up very quickly. So the question 4 I've got here, I believe it's question 4. What can I be doing now to increase my lead conversion ready for my Black Friday offer?
Yeah, Black Friday is one of those tough ones. Do you go internal and external, or just internal only? And what I mean by that is, do you only run Black Friday offers to your current client base, or do you try and run your Black Friday offer to non-clients? Now, we've talked about it over the last couple of weeks, about the client journey. If we're running a Black Friday offer to people who have only become aware that they need to do something, then that Black Friday offer isn't really going to work well for them, because they'll be like, oh, that's an interesting offer, but I'm not ready to do it yet. And we're putting it out there. So I probably wouldn't be running ads for Black Friday. I'd be more likely posting that on your social media and on your emails, where the people have already got an idea of who you are, and they know a little bit about you. They've seen your success stories. They know what you have to offer, and then it goes from there. Likewise, for your internal one, definitely do this. It could be 12 for the price of 10, or 14 for the price of 12, paid up front, and there's only like 2 or 3 spaces available. So then it's a real low number, but the 2 or 3 people that do commit, you've got your Christmas all paid from there. Doing it to the general public, like the external, is trickier, because they need to be relatively warm. They have to be motivated and excited about what it is you have to offer. So the offer has to be unique, it has to be interesting. So a Black Friday one could be, you know what, to celebrate Black Friday, if you join our first program of January, you get the rest of the year for free included in it. So that's an easy Black Friday to do. But if you're putting out, you know what, celebrate Black Friday, this is just to a cold audience. If you sign up today and sign up for a 12-month paid in full, then you get it for the price of 10, and then you turn around and tell them, yeah, that's like £1,700 or something. Then that cold audience are not going to take the offer, because they don't know you enough to give you that much money straight away. So external offers, internal offers, they have to be different, so you're actually working it to your audience. And again, that comes back to the first question you asked, wasn't it, about different campaigns and how you'd set your ads up and everything.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Obviously, everything you just said is completely correct. But I think one thing people can be doing now, or this time period before Black Friday is here, is all about, as you said, priming and making sure that people are aware of you, what you do, so that when your campaign is ready and you're going to start boosting that campaign out, then people are going to convert, because they already know who you are, they're familiar with you, they value what you do, they see the benefits that you can provide. And then when that campaign then is out and is running, they're thinking, oh, this is a great offer, let's jump right on that. And then that's when they'll obviously convert in. So leading up to that Black Friday offer period, maybe the week before when you get that campaign out. Now is all about prepping and priming, like you said, with your posts, your email marketing, conversations with people, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those because we don't want to wait until the day of Black Friday because otherwise you'd have been beaten. So like we're telling most of our clients to start putting his offers out now, because we don't want to wait until Black Friday where the big people come in and then you just get washed away. But at the same time, like you said, you need to get them ready, motivated, and excited. So whether it's you wait to the week before Black Friday, so whatever that Monday is, and then your emails and social media are building up to that point, guys. We've got a big Black Friday offer coming. Mark this date in your diary. This is when we're going to release it. There's limited spaces, guys. Super excited about this Black Friday. Just mark it in your diary so you're letting them know. Email, social media, old clients as well, getting everybody primed and ready for that date. And then I would say on that week of Monday, and I can kind of see it happening already. I can probably see that Monday of that week, you're going to see loads of Black Friday offers coming because even all the big major companies now are diving. Like once November comes, Black Friday basically starts at the start of November.
Yeah, I have seen quite a few ads already for Black Friday offers and stuff coming up. So yeah, we all understand we need to be doing stuff around it, but it's making sure that we're doing it properly. So cool. Let's have a look what we have left here.
But isn't Black Friday usually the day after Thanksgiving?
Oh.
So is Thanksgiving always the last Thursday of November?
I don't know. I'm not actually sure.
Something for us to think about. Oh yeah, so Thanksgiving is celebrated on the 4th Thursday of November. Okay, so that's why they did it then. Because obviously we all know Black Friday is an American thing. So Thanksgiving is always the 4th Thursday of November, and then that means Black Friday is the following day. So they celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving celebrates President Abraham Lincoln's proclaim a national day for Thanksgiving to be celebrated. And then it's Black Friday. Now let's go and spend loads of money.
Yeah,
wow.
Literally.
History lesson on our Q&A.
Okay. Next question here. So I think this is... Okay, I'll just read it. What's one key takeaway on lead gen that you would leave us fitness professionals? That's a hard one for you to pick, I think.
Yeah, there's so many aspects to that question, isn't there?
What would you say is the most important thing that you found when you were starting your business and getting your new clients in a new area, all that sort of thing, I guess? What's the one that stands out?
The offer needs to talk to the audience. I think that is by far the biggest one. There's no point running a bodybuilding program to like you said, over 60s people, or no point running a I Be for Shred program to people that have quite a bit of weight to lose. So I think matching your audience up with the correct offer is probably the most important thing you need to do, because everything else just flows on from that, because then you write the right emails, you do the correct social media, you have the right follow-ups. Everything follows on from making sure you have the right offer to the right audience, because otherwise everything else just won't work, because you'll always be posting about the wrong offer to the wrong audience.
I guess then as well, just to make it super clear, so for even people who think they know who their audience is, how would you go about making sure that you have a really strong understanding of that? Like, what questions would you ask yourself or ask about your clients and that sort of thing, so that if people are watching and thinking, I'm not entirely sure I know that, or how do I go about doing that? What would you say to do?
Yeah, so creating an audience probably is the best way to do it. So even the biggest companies in the world have a specific niche or audience that they're targeting. Take Tesla, for example. not everybody would buy a Tesla, but if you think deep down, you think people that maybe enjoy technology, are quite interested in renewable energy, people that maybe have a set level of income compared to, let's go, a Nissan Micra. When you think of that as well, that is targeting a specific audience that would want that type of car. So it doesn't matter how big your business is or how small it is. If you're targeting everybody and anybody, you're always going to really struggle. So the first thing to do is come up with that audience. Who is it you actually want to work with? Because once you know that, everything becomes so much easier. Like
Yeah.
on, let's say, Sky Sports News, they know the majority of the UK like football. So they do maybe 10% rugby, 10% cricket, 10% all the other stuff, and then 80% is all football. Because otherwise, if they showed all these other random stuff, if they put 50% of their airtime on badminton or ping pong, their show up rate would watch it because that's not what they're interested in. So you need to decide on the audience that you want to work with, and then you start creating the content and the offers specific to those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And some things to consider as well, you know, obviously, as you mentioned, it's how old are they, where are they spending their time, what difficulties do they have, you know, why aren't they making it to the gym, or why are they making it to the gym? You know, why are they looking for a service? Are they underconfident, or are they people who are young and in you know, full-time jobs and don't have time, so want to make it more efficient when they get there? And all these considerations to be thinking about. So yeah, really understanding that is going to make a massive difference, because you may be putting out an ad and getting loads of leads come in, but if they're the wrong people who aren't actually interested in what you're offering, then they're going to fall on deaf ears, you know? So yeah, I hope that answered any questions for people who are maybe not quite sure on their lead generation, on their audience. Sorry.
It is one of those tough ones because, like, we obviously we specialize in gym studios and boot camps, and we try and make it super obvious. Likewise, we also do attract a lot of online fit pros, even though our content doesn't really talk about online fit pros and we help online fit pros. So don't think either that if going specific is going to rule you out to certain audiences. Like, we've got a load of people who run ladies adverts, and that's all they run is ladies adverts, female adverts, but their boyfriends and husbands then come, so they might be 80% dominated female lady wise, but they also have 20% of men in it as well, so they're not ladies only. Their campaigns, their creatives, their content, their emails are more targeted towards the female audience, but likewise they're still signing up men. It's like the people that might go and buy a Tesla might also buy as a backup, or wife, or for the child, or for the husband, or they might just buy one because of somebody else needs it in their close vicinity.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that by being specific you're cutting off everyone else. Being specific just helps you create content specific to one audience, which should make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty sure that was the final question I had from today's Q&A. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Any final words, Dave?
Nope. I think we need to order one of those gifts today. I just need to fine-tune that poster thing that we did the other day, get those ordered. I think Ella's finished the workbook, so they're all done. Yeah, the room looks good in Birmingham, so that's all good if everyone saw the picture or the video I put up the other day. So yeah, not long down until the winter, so it should be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll post a link to our bookings page. If you haven't already got your ticket, that will be on the 28th of November. And I'll post a link in our story today if you want to come and join.
No worries. I appreciate you all, everybody, and we'll see you next week. And like usual, if you've got any questions, do let us know. Reach out to one of us, post it on Instagram, wherever you're seeing these videos. We'll get those questions answered on these lives. But until next week, Katie, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. See you then.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.